Everybody stays at home, and LeBron makes them pay. 66-52, 16 for James, and a timeout called by Memphis. And some words exchanged with Brooks.
I think that the highs and lows of playing basketball in Los Angeles can be hilarious. One moment, everybody can be calling for your head, looking for your replacement because of a few bad games and what some viewed as a cryptic post-game interview where you called yourself a basketball player instead of a point guard, and the next moment, those same people who wanted you gone are now hyping you up because you weren't your lows and you were always going to bounce back.
Lakers hold serve. Under 4 to go. Russell again. Russell. Cash! 3 in a row for D'Angelo Russell.
All I'm going to say is that if the Lakers can consistently get D'Lo playing at a high level, then watch out, because this Lakers team has been looking dangerous. It's truly remarkable that the 7-seeded Lakers were able to take out the 2-seeded Grizzlies in 6 games, considering that this team literally started the season 2-10. When you start the season 2-10, you're supposed to be hoping that your pick swap doesn't turn into one of the greatest prospects of all time. You're not supposed to be taking out the NBA's biggest trash talkers in the playoffs who have struggled to learn their lesson, and we have to talk about that. But first, I have to tell you guys how PrizePicks is giving registered users the chance to win a dumb amount of money every single day of the NBA playoffs. All you have to do is opt in at prizepicks.com/million and submit a lineup like you usually would, and you'll get the opportunity to win up to $1 million. Now, of course, make sure that you use code COOP when you sign up so that you can get your initial deposit instantly doubled. Here's how it works. Every morning a random number is generated, then at 10 a.m. the entry window opens, and the person that places the entry that matches that random number that was generated will receive an additional entry that gives you the chance for that $1 million that we were just talking about. We've already seen some big winners. Guys, this is by far my favorite PrizePicks promo, so be sure to check it out and use code COOP.
Who do you look at around the league as you're studying and say, we're gonna have to run through them?
Celtics.
No one in the West.
Nah, I'm fine in the West.
I completely get it. The Grizzlies thought that it was their year, but that still doesn't change how nasty it is to say that I'm fine in the West and then you go on to get first rounded. That being said, I have to give Ja his props. He said what he said and he owned up to it while showing some growth at the same time.
Ja, you know the I'm fine in the West comment's going to get thrown back in your face at this point.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't care. I said it. You know, I deal with it. So.
According to DeMichael Cole, when Ja first came back in March, he said that he was going to be more humble in his interviews. He also recently said that he's going to do less trash talking and that the team will probably follow his lead. To quote Ja, I feel like that's a good thing for us. Ja has been ready for everything that comes his way. Now, his teammate Dillon Brooks, who's headed to free agency this summer, he's sort of been all over the place. Dillon Brooks really said that Bron was old, that he pokes bears, and that he doesn't respect somebody until they give him 40 after game 2, only to go on and get ejected the next game. Then, the game after that, Bron would give him a 22-point, 20-rebound double-double. Then, to top all of this off, the Grizzlies would go on to lose the final game of this series by 40 points.
James, he gets him. James drives. James is fouled and one. LeBron.
The part that really gets me is that after game 3, he had the audacity to say that the media is making me a villain, the fans making me a villain. That just creates another persona for me. While he was definitely referencing how his public perception influenced that flagrant 2 call, I still can't believe that he thinks that anybody is making him a villain. But wait, it gets even better, because after the series, Brooks basically went on and said that he wasn't changing anything. To quote Brooks, "That's who I am, that's what I'm going to be. At the end of the day, it's just competition, it's competing, and most people are scared to compete. And that's why they get rattled or feel some type of way when I play against them. It's because I'm trying to compete at the highest level that I can. And that's the only way that I got into this league. So I'm not going to change. I'm going to keep doing what I do and get better. This would come, of course, after Brooks declined to speak to the media for multiple games, which he would eventually get fined $25K for, by the way. You know, I'm really not mad at Brooks. I probably wouldn't want to speak to the media either after some of those abysmal performances. Brooks averaged 10.5 points on 31.2% from the field and 23.8% from the three-point line. In this series, his ball stopping and efficiency woes were on full display. If you're going to put a magnifying glass on yourself, these performances are not the ones that you want to show everybody, especially with Brooks headed towards free agency in the summer. I really wonder if the Grizzlies will try to bring him back. Roddy has shown a lot of promise, and I personally have a lot of faith in Williams. If they decide against bringing Brooks back, I wonder what a market for him looks like. He's a legit defender, but offensively he needs a lot of work. Say that Brooks doesn't have a huge market. If he works on his shot selection and practices the right things like catching and shooting the ball, you could be looking at a bargain player. There are a lot of teams out there that desperately need defense, and who knows, maybe Brooks could end up being a decent band-aid for one of them like the Mavericks. Now, of course, Brooks wasn't the only Grizzly that did not play up to their expectations. Personally, I'd like to see more consistency out of the DPOY Jaren Jackson Jr. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about scoring the basketball. There were games where Anthony Davis dominated the glass. That type of domination is the same that I want to see out of somebody that is as talented as Jaren Jackson Jr. He's literally somebody that has every single tool that you could want in a big man. If I'm a Grizzlies fan, though my team went out sad, I'm definitely not panicking. At the end of the day, this team's core is very young and showing rapid improvement. When you have a young team, there are going to be some bumps along the way. Remember that progress is not always linear. I think that one of the worst things that this team could do is go into this offseason panicking. If you ask me, I'd say that adding a few quality vets to this roster could go a very long way. While I don't want this team to make a panic win now move like some of the other teams around the league have, I do wonder if they look at making one this offseason. Remember that this team was reportedly very interested in Kevin Durant. In the comments below, let me know what you would like to see the Grizzlies do after their disappointing L. While I can't tell you exactly what the Grizzlies plan to do after their L, I can tell you what LeBron did do. After beating the Grizzlies, Bron headed over to Twitter and fired off this tweet. I wonder who Bron could be referencing with this one. I guess you could say that despite his words, that maybe he did take things a little personally. Then again, there's always that chance that he just wanted to share some cool Jay-Z lyrics with us. Guys, let me know what you think of everything down in the comments below. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GETLIKECOOP, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.